If someone stabs another person, but the victim later dies as a result of wrong medication administered by a doctor, who will be guilty of causing the death of the victim? My friend actually sent me this scenario, so let's talk about it. So the fact of the scenario is that Kemi stabbed Tolu during a robbery. Tolu was rushed to the hospital where a doctor negligently gave him wrong medication, thereby leading to Tolu's death. So now Kemi is arguing that it is the doctor's negligence that killed Tolu, not her stabbing. The question is, can Kemi still be found guilty of murder despite the doctor's involvement in the case? Under Section 313 of the Criminal Code, if someone harms another person and the victim dies in cause of surgical or medical treatment, maybe as a result of the injury that was done to him or her, or the medical treatment that was administered, the person who caused the harm will still be found guilty as long as the medical treatment that was administered was done in a proper and reasonable manner. So this means that for someone that has done harm to another person to be excluded from liability, for that person to be found not guilty for the offense of murder, then the medical treatment that was administered has to be improper and unreasonable. When we look at the scenario I talked about earlier, you can see that the doctor negligently administered medications on Tolu. So you get the key word there is negligence. So the negligence of the doctor is what killed Tolu and not the stabbing of Kemi. Again, there's something we need to understand. Under Section 312 of the Criminal Code, the case can be that the victim died because proper medical treatment was not administered. In that case, the person who caused the harm will still be found guilty. Now, the difference between Section 312 and 313 is that in Section 312, the case is that proper medical treatment was not administered. For example, maybe the doctor was supposed to administer tetanus injection, but the doctor did not do that. The doctor will not be found guilty even if the victim dies. It is the person who caused the harm that will still be found guilty. Now, Section 313 is talking about medical treatment administered in a proper and reasonable manner. So if the doctor goes ahead to administer a tetanus injection, so long as the doctor knows that this is actually the right thing to do, yet the victim still dies, that is not the fault of the doctor. But if the doctor goes ahead to administer a drug that he shouldn't have administered ordinarily, then the doctor will be found liable because that treatment is improper. So that's the difference between Section 312 and Section 313. I hope I did not confuse you. Again, it can also be that the victim refuses medical treatment. When the victim refuses medical treatment, the person who caused the harm will still be found guilty. There's this case where a Jehovah's Witness member was stabbed, and you know that Jehovah's Witnesses do not accept blood transfusion. So the witness was rushed to the hospital, and when he got to the hospital, he refused blood transfusion, and as a result of that, he died. So the person who committed, the accused person, was arguing that it is the victim that caused his death and not what the accused person, did to the victim. And the court said no, that the accused person is still guilty of murder. I hope you found this helpful. See you in my next video. If you have any questions, do well to leave it in the comments.